My mom died 4 years ago from cancer. And me and my fiancé used to go to his place for dinner. There was nothing unusual about that. He was lonely, but lately his mood had improved and I was about to find out why. So, yeah, my dad invited us over to dinner and then after dinner, they told me they needed to talk to me, which was odd. Turns out they have had a sexual relationship for over 3 months. And me being a moron asked how many times I was starting to hyperventilate at that point. And they were both reluctant to share that. I eventually got the full story. I won't write that here as it's painful enough already. And I feel stupid for asking. I walked out and left them both and told my dad, if you want her, you can keep her. You are both finished with me. And then I told my fancy to give me the keys to my apartment. She was crying as she was struggling to get the key off her chain. I did it for her, gave her other keys back and told her I would pack her things and she could come over and pick them up. When I was finished, her mom came over and picked up her things. She actually sent her mom to do it. I let her in and she had gotten the full story and was so sorry for everything and hoped I would get through this. My dad and I guess ex-fiancé now have been texting and calling me for the last week. I have not responded or answered any of their calls and my dad even called the cops because he was worried I might hurt myself. Geez. Thanks for the concern for my mental health. Dad, maybe you should have considered that before having sex with my fiancé. So I get 2 officers at my door who told me they had received a call from my dad worried I might harm myself. I told the officer I was not suicidal and explained what had happened and they both looked disgusted and apologized for bothering me and what I was going through. The look of pity from the officers made me feel worse. I just felt ashamed having to tell these 2 guys that. I'm not sure why I felt shame, but I did anyways. My dad wants me to talk to him. I have no idea what to do here. I have no other family, no aunts or uncles and now no fancy either. I have kept busy by going to the gym and trying to live my life as normally as possible. My fiancée has moved back with her parents but she is apparently still in contact with my dad since dad keeps texting me that she's worried about me. Apparently I am the asshole here since he feels that I should not treat her this way. So, yeah, I'm the asshole here. Apparently. I mean, what do I even do here? I've ended it with her clearly, but then there is my dad who is now trying to fix things and wants me to forgive her. I honestly just want them both to leave me alone. Update. Hey, everybody. Thanks for all the messages and advice. I did not expect this post to blow up as much as it did, but I just wanted to post an update on how things stand. First of all, I am doing okay. In fact, I have slept well these last few nights and had support from some unexpected places. Many of you wanted me to go public and tell everyone. Well, I did not have to. My now ex-fiancée took care of that for me. She told her best friend expecting sympathy and instead she raged at her and now most of her friends and mine are now fully aware of what has happened. Her best friend called me and we spoke for over an hour. Apparently, whatever angry thought I may have had regarding my now ex-PC was nothing to what she and her friends subjected her to. They have completely cut her off and they even asked her if she slept with any of their fathers. Her best friend also told me that she still believes I will forgive her and that she wants me back. Not happening. And seems to be a little, shall we say, unstable right now. She seems like a total wreck. I also spoke to her parents and told them to give her time and don't kick her out. I honestly, despite what she did, don't want her to do anything stupid. Her parents are probably more pissed at her than I am. I also met my dad. We spoke in person and honestly, the reason we spoke is that I wanted to pick up some things from home. I had a friend of mine with me just in case I felt the urge to punch him. He made no attempt at small talk and my friend was walking very close by me like he was expecting me to attack him and was ready to restrain me if it happened. So that's the update. My girlfriend is a nervous wreck, dumped by all her friends. Her BFF and I have become good friends. No, we are not sleeping together or anything like that, but she has supported me and we have kept talking on the phone. She had been cheated on too, but she could not even begin to imagine what I went through. Honestly, I feel okay. I cut my dad off completely after I got some of my mom's things, including her wedding ring. I am taking this. I told him and he did not argue, and you can have this, and I gave him my engagement ring, not expensive. And honestly, I did not know what I was going to do with it anyways. He just looked at me, and now finally it dawned upon him just how badly he had messed up. I also told him to stop telling her that I may forgive her. You are messing with her head and she needs to realize it's over. He said he would not contact her again. I told him I did not care if he did or not. Final update. Hi. I just decided to post one final update since I have been bombarded with questions about how I'm doing and if anything has happened. I am doing okay. My dad and my ex-fiancée have not contacted me at all and have left me alone. I have had moments where I felt lonely and angry, but I had people who have been there for me, my ex-fiancé's BFF, and I have gotten close, and we decided to go on a trip, just me and her. We are not together, but we have gotten close. My dad and my ex-fiancée, like many predicted, have been talking and someone spotted them together in town. I kind of suspected it would happen. It honestly does not bother me. They deserve each other. And I'm just thankful I found out before I married her. More people have found out what happened now. She and my dad have lost a huge part of their social circle. So I guess with many disgusted with them both, they found each other. Misery loves company after all. I also made it clear to my other friends that if they wanted to contact her and talk to her, that it wouldn't bother me. I don't want to control anyone or make anyone feel they have to stay away from her because of me. I am not going to be a vindictive asshole that only hurts me in the long run. So to summarize, I am doing okay, still seeing the therapist, and have gotten close to my ex-fis former best friend. I do get depressed and feel angry and lonely sometimes, but I have learned to deal with it. I spent an entire weekend cleaning my apartment to get my ex-fancy's perfume smell out of my apartment, since that was a big trigger for me, and I decided to buy a new bed and a new couch, and I redecorated a bit. I sold the old bed and my old couch, and honestly, it feels like a new apartment. A fresh start, if you will. Thanks to everybody for your advice, concerns and comments. They helped a lot and I needed to vent about it. Wow, man. I'm so sorry that you had to go through this, but you did an incredible job of handling the situation and you have nothing to be ashamed of. The trash took itself out, and in its place, you have a great support system that I hope you will lean on, because that will make things easier. One thing I do want to say is your ex had an incredible friend group, and all of those people showed immense integrity with their actions, and they should all be very proud of themselves. It's not easy to lose a friend, and it's even harder when you are faced with a situation like this where their moral turpitude puts you in the position where you have to make the choice to cut them out of your life. I cannot even describe in words my hatred towards your dad for what he did. He is truly a monster. And if I were you, I would change my number, move, and never have contact with him again. The same goes for your ex. Neither of those scumbags is worth even a breath of yours. It's great that you are seeking therapy, and I wish you all the best with your recovery. Now, let's get into today's second story. My wife and I have a 5-year-old boy. My son is my favorite person in the world. We've been married for 8 years, but I have known each other for 25 years, dating for 3 years prior to marriage. I know the baby isn't mine. We have not had sex in a while. She would make up an excuse or push me away for whatever reason she had at the time. And many of those reasons were believable. I had my suspicions for a while. She slept with a good friend of ours who, as of a few weeks ago, is no longer our friend. I never did get a good answer as to why until 2 days ago. She doesn't work and is a stay-at-home mom. I work a lot and pay all of the bills. We own our home outright. 2 nights ago, she dropped this bombshell on me. When I got home from work, she was crying and calling herself an asshole, a bad person, etc. Then she said she was sorry for hurting my feelings as opposed to sorry I cheated. She said she has not told anyone, not even our friend, the father, only her sister. We made an agreement that she would terminate the pregnancy and go to counseling. I was awash with emotions I have never felt before. But I thought to myself, maybe this could be a new beginning for us to preface the next paragraph. I've always wanted a second child. According to her, her doctor told her she could not have any more kids. I was not at that appointment and trusted what my wife told me. I had no reason to not trust her. At this point, this was 2 years ago. I know now that this was bullshit. I've also been tested and I was fertile last night. She came to me with a knife and asked me to kill her son because that is what I was asking her to do. She then tried to blame me for her infidelity, which I know is bullshit. She then started calling her pregnancy a miracle. This was an entire world of crazy for her that I've never seen before. Maybe I was just naive. She wants to keep the baby now and I told her I want a divorce. I am very uncomfortable with the thought. I won't be able to read bedtime stories to my son every night now and do the things we do every day together, and I'm not comfortable with my wife meeting someone new and my son calling him daddy because we are in California. I know I am screwed when it comes to divorce and child custody, and that isn't helping things. I cannot afford a lawyer, let alone a good one. I have done nothing wrong here. I've been telling myself that since E-Day I get to go home and deal with this mess in a few hours. I don't want to see her, talk to her. I just want to see my son. I'm sorry if this seems all jumbled up, but I can't really think straight right now. Thank you for reading. Your wife is demented. She is determined to mess with your head and heart and guilt trip you. Soon she will start telling people you were abusive and had to escape. You start telling everyone, you know the truth. Get ahead of this game before she muddies your name and destroys your reputation. And then lawyer up. You need a recorder to record all your conversations with your wife. A false accusation might be her next step. You say she slept with a good friend the way you wrote it. I got the impression that you think it was only once. My experience is that the chances of this being a one-time thing are close to zero. It's most likely an affair of some length unless you have proof otherwise, like their texts saying it was only once. I think you're better off assuming it was some weeks, months of an affair. Get away from this crazy woman as quickly as possible. Thank you for listening to today's stories. If you enjoyed listening, please feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also comment below with your thoughts on today's stories. Take care, everyone.